Hello Buzzcocks, my name is Otzi and welcome back on Volcano's Factorio, where last time we have set up a production pipeline for I think everything that we can make out of lava, and we have defeated quite a few demolisher worms, so now we have access to quite a bit of tungsten, which I intend to mine in this episode. But I think we need a few more than just 7 miners, which means we need more electric engines. And to get those, I think we will need to set up a small mall here that produces a few of the things that we are currently lacking. Probably also some oil processing, because I think we will need a bit of red circuits which require plastics in the process. So let me set this up and then we can see about those mining fields and what we do with all the tungsten. I want to get out 2 red belts of tungsten ore. Not sure if we can manage that. Let's try anyway. Probably we can get... No, you can't. Cannot get away with this. So let's move this one up. And then have some more mining drills down here. Going this way. And up and okay, let's connect this. And the reason why I want to have 2 red bells is this calculation here. So if we want to get 7 science packs out, we almost need 2 red belts input, and this is calculated a bit on the low side, so we can produce a bit more of the tungsten carbide and the tungsten plates. So at least at the moment, look like we can get 1 red belt out of here, and maybe we can get a bit more than 1 red belt out of here, but I think 10 minus will not do. So let me set up this part, try to figure out how we can maximize our 2 belt output before we then move on to the processing of this precious ore. For our production setup, we need quite a bit of liquid copper and liquid iron or molten. Iron not so much. 1 foundry is enough, but we need 10 for the copper. So I think I will add those up here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's probably more than 6. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. So that means here we will have the iron, and here we will have the copper. then we only need to deal with the stone output, the calcite input, and hook up the copper and iron pipes to down here, where we will have the production of everything else. I also have the beginning of the carbon production going, but we need a tiny bit more. We have 4, that's 8, that's 12, that's 16. That's a bit more than we actually need. And of course, I constantly run out of building materials, but luckily they're just lying around here. Maybe also grab some more of the red belts. And then after that, we can actually think about the tungsten plates and the tungsten carbide. So as we have the carbide here, and the sulfuric acid, which we also need for this. Let's try to do that right next door. We leave a bit of room here. This one. Right. So we need carbide going in here. And we can have output there. Like so. And we also need here the sulfuric acid. Here, like that. Let's bring that over to here. And here. So here we want to have output here. Bring that over that way. Nice. And then we have, I think, 12 of these. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. This, connect that way. And we need power. Also this side, and we need more inserters. I will grab those and then we can tackle the tungsten plates, and then finally the science packs. And here we have the basic setup for the tungsten plates. We have 4, we need 16 of them. So let's copy that 3 more times. That should do it. Don't need that part. And we need to hook up iron. And as usual, out of underground pipes, no problem. We have them up here. Maybe this time I grab 100. That will hopefully be sufficient for what we have in mind. This is iron. Let's bring that a bit closer. There. Then have corner piece. And corner piece. And we need power. That should do it. And that means the last piece is just the science packs. But before we look at that, once we have the science packs, we also need a spaceship to transport it. So let's add one in the orbit of Nauvis, and we will name this the Volcanus. Well, maybe without caps lock. Volcanus Express. I know, not very creative. And we will use the same design as for this one, because this one served us quite well. So I will start to set this up, and here we can bring those two together. Yep, we have that one going, and then we can have the production of our science packs and 12 foundries here at the back. The last piece of our science puzzle here is pretty similar, same setup as we have here, only that we have 2 lanes of input and we only need 12 foundries here. And of course this time I'm out of different materials, but we do have a bit of logistic network here, so we should be able to let this build automatically, and then we need to hook up copper here, and we are producing the first science packs, and we get 0.6 science packs out of it. That was 50% production, so hopefully that will be good to start. And all that we have to wait now is our spaceship to be finished, so we can set up the route, set up the shipping, so we can then hook up more research, or we can already hook up the research that we want. That's not really the question here. And then probably artillery. That covers that. Then the only new thing is basically the rail support foundation, and we get a few more infinite research that we can unlock and scale up until we have reached the max there as well. Now that almost everything is in place, we can think about shipping things back to Nauvis, and in order to do that, we have a second spaceship here, currently in the orbit of Volgura, and we will use this one to ship processing units and rocket fuel back to Vulcanus, so we have something to build our rocket. And speaking of that, I think we need to build a rocket silo. We need a few things for that, but I guess we should have all the materials that we need. Probably not on stock, but we can craft them. Hey, this one. We need a few more pipes. We need a few green circuits. Blue. So we should be able to gather everything that we need here in order to craft this. I also need steel. That's not a problem. We need a few more of the electric motors. There. So we are now only missing the concrete and the processing units. Processing units, they will be delivered with the first rocket coming over here. First spaceship from Volgura. We can build our spaceport, set it up, and then also launch the Vulcanus Express here. And here we probably want to set this up. I'm thinking maybe 4,000 science packs. I also want to have some foundries. We will need some of these, and we will add more things later on, and then we will switch this condition to that, and then we should be good. Well, this of course should be Vulcanus, not Volgura. There. And that's 4,000. So move that. Go to there. And here, the loading of the rocket fuel takes a while because production is not that fast. But I think once we have things going, we should be okay. So now only the processing units are missing, and once we have that, we can place down our rocket silo. And we want to deliver here. This one, and here we want to have that. Do we buy? We have some here. That works out nicely. And once we have the rocket silo, we should be able to craft up some rockets, send them up to any spaceship that's flying by, or, well, not flying by, orbiting the planet. There we go. Nice. Would be nice if I had some productivity modules. I don't have, but I think at least for now we can do without. And this fits nicely because this research is almost done, and then we have queued up everything else that needs actually the metallurgic space science that we have here. And let's check on the Volcanos Express. Yeah, probably will also want to have a bit of this and a bit of that. Not sure how much we actually need of that. Then, of course, over here we also need to unload. So, science, miners, this, and then we have those two as well. And we will need this setup, and in order to build this I have to go back there and then we shall have quite a few other chests that we use filters on. Here we have that one. Here we have this. Then we need another one where we want to have the plates. Nice. That should cover everything here. Have a rocket here, but I guess here we have to say do it that way, and then the things are getting shipped to the spaceship in the orbit. Nice one. Here I am. That's it for today, and next time we will probably finish up some things here on Vulcanus, and then we will head back over to Nauvis to finish up the setup that we need to actually make use of the next science packs. Until then, goodbye!